We have Vishal Manchanda, research analyst at Nirmal Bang, now joining us. Vishal, what do you make of this deal that Claris Life has struck? The injectables business was a large part of its total revenues, I think about 78%. Now that has been sold for $625 million. Given its portfolio and its presence, do you think it got good value in this deal?
Yes, at $625 million, it's a reasonable valuation, and it's kind of in line with the transactions that have happened in the space. So the EV/EBITDA multiple of the transaction is about 15.8 times, and on an EV by sales, it is about 5.5 times. So if you look at the recent transactions like Fosun, which acquired Gland Pharma, it was acquired at a 16.6 times EV/EBITDA and about 6.6 times EV to sales. So it's pretty much in line with the Fosun Gland transaction. Gland, if we compare Claris and Gland had a more complex, had a portfolio that was more on the complex side, while Claris has a more pure vanilla portfolio, but it has a very low cost structure, and another advantage with Claris is that they have a front end in the US, which Gland didn't have.
All right. Now, what's left for Claris now? You know, they've sold off a large part of the business. They're saying they're going to use the proceeds to reward their shareholders. Of what is left in the business, what kind of growth visibility is there for this company now?
So now it's like it would be an all-cash company post the transaction, except they'll have a 20% stake in the joint venture with Otsuka. So, once the proceeds once they receive the proceeds, so we expect the total cash with the company to be around 3,000 crores, assuming some taxes and debt repayment. Then probably, but the company wishes to repatriate most of the cash to the shareholders. So they are giving a guidance of repatriating majority of the cash. It could run up to 80% of the cash being repatriated to shareholders.
Vishal, but we all know that cash always trades at a discount, and plus the deal is some time away. It will at least take about 12 to 24 months for them to get the entire money and get all the approvals, get the deal, get the money, and then probably give. How do you think they'll give back this cash, and what sort of discount should you give to that 3,000 crore number that you just spoke?
So there are various options that they have. One is a straight dividend distribution, but that will attract a dividend distribution tax. Again, there are share buybacks also they can resort to, but again, there are complexities in that structure as well. The third option would be an entire delisting, and I think that would be the most appropriate, but I think a tax expert would be the best to comment on this. So a discount is expected on the cash that the parent will hold. So based on that, I would say, there's about 10% more upside in the stock from here. If we apply a significant discount to the cash, say 30-40% discount to the cash, we still have about 10% upside from here.
Right. Unlike a lot of businesses, investors don't tend to agree that, promoters will give out a big dividend or will, come out and give big buybacks just because they have cash on the books. But in case of Claris, there has been a deal earlier where they have given a substantial amount of their money back to the shareholders, so people would have that trust.
Yes, even in the press release, they have press release announcement. They have clearly indicated they intend to distribute bulk of the cash they receive from the transaction. And our talks with the management suggest it would be close to 70-80% of the transaction value which they intend to distribute.
Right. Vishal, do you see more such deals in the offing in the pharmaceutical space, especially when it comes to the injectables business? I mean, are there limits to growth in this business, especially generics that Claris was looking for a way out? Could other companies also be looking to strike similar deals?
So it's like, I think the pure play injectable companies are giving up to the larger companies in the space. So Claris was one of the last few pure play assets in the space, and it has now been sold off. So I don't actually see there are any other pure play assets available. Like other companies like Reddy, Sun Pharma, Oro Pharma, they have a respectable injectable business, but they would look at growing this rather than divesting it. So because if you look at the patent expiries that are coming up, a large part of these expiries would be injectables, and the larger companies which have bigger ambitions would rather look at growing their injectable portfolio now.